The first SEC home game's over with at Tiger Stadium, but it started off kind of slow. LSU led with some adjustments, found a way to stop the mobility of KJ Jefferson, and Jaden Daniels and the offense punched home 34 points to take over and win against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Going forward for the Tigers, SEC contention is going to get a little bit harder. The stakes raise, so we're going to have to protect this home and try to move forward to that college football playoff. For more breakdown of LSU versus Arkansas, keep watching our highlights and make sure to subscribe to the Verdant Verdict.
I mean, never get too high, never get too low. It's a big-time win. Obviously, we're going to celebrate that. But, when Monday comes, we're back to work. We're moving on to Ole Miss, and, that's got to be the mentality from the coaches to even the captains to the whole team. I mean, he's a playmaker. We gotta give that guy some touches. Once he gets going, like I said, everybody else gets going also. So, even if we got to move him around, to go out there and get different type of coverages, we know if we leave him outside, teams might be able to just double team him, So getting him going and also having Brian on the other side, teams can't really, they got to pick and choose their poison. The defense is going to dictate where the ball goes. That's what we preach in the quarterback room. Obviously, Malik is a very top receiver in the country, but if they give me one-on-one to Brian, I trust him to go out there and make the plays. He does that at practice. Last year, he's kind of in that role, coming around. But this year, from the spring all the way to fall to now, he's been making those type of plays. So it's good to see that what he's done at practice is translating to the game. Or, obviously that's his old school. Him coming to LSU and everything he's going through. My prayers out to him and his family. That's a brother to me. It struck all of us. But we know this was a big time win for him, and we had to go out there and get it done. It's respect to him. He went out there and played. He joked after the game and said, "Man, stop scoring so much." I said, "Man, I had to because you were." But it's just good to see him go out there, and get the praise that he does. He's a very good quarterback, and I respect the game tremendously. Yeah, I've been like that since a kid. Never get too high, never get too low. Stay even killed no matter what the situation. I always keep a smile on my face, even those tough times, adverse times. That's something I was just taught as a kid.
What's going through your mind?
We know we got to get points before half. And then in the touchdown, we knew the type of coverage they were going to run in that type of situation. That's just with preparation and everything. When they went cover one, they gave me a chance to take a shot. I took it. Didn't hold back, let my guy go make a play. And once we got points on the board, we just kept rolling after that.
Taking a look at the stat sheet here, you see Logan Diggs had 14 carries. He led the running back room with a substantial amount of carries. Jaden Daniels, of course, had 10 carries. And, you see Jaden get active in the backfield a lot. And that's kind of one of the things that helps this offense gain their legs and be able to adjust and be able to grow, because with a mobile quarterback comes the RPO, comes the design quarterback runs, comes the play action. There's a lot of things that you can confuse an opposing defense with when your quarterback can get multiple carries a game, especially double digits. I mean, last season, Jaden Daniels leading LSU in rushing yards. That says a lot about this young man. Now let's look at the targets in the receiver room. Malik Neighbors, 14 targets. Brian Thomas, 7 targets. Mason Taylor, 4 targets. Aaron Anderson, 2 targets. Now, these numbers show you how important these receivers are in our room. Malik Neighbors with the 14 targets, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Phenomenal game from Malik. Again, another multiple touchdown performance. However, another receiver that came in with multiple touchdowns, Brian Thomas Jr. Shout out to Brian Thomas for the insane year he's having. A lot of people mark Brian Thomas Jr. as one of your players to watch before the beginning of the season, and man, were they right. 7 targets for Brian Thomas Jr. with a multiple touchdown game with 133 yards. He led the wide receiver room in receiving yards, but let's not forget Malik Neighbors, another big performance. 2 weeks in a row with multiple touchdowns. Malik had 2 touchdowns on 130 yards. The longest reception of the night went to Brian Thomas Jr., 49 yards. Fantastic catch. And all in all, the tackles, I mean, let's look at Major Burns, another big performance, 12 tackles. Greg Penn showing up with 12 tackles and a sack. Whit Weeks getting implemented into the starting lineup and performing, turning a lot of heads, 9 total tackles, and his second start ever as a college athlete. And shout out to Andre Sam. I watched Andre Sam through the fall camp, and he turned a couple heads, had a couple interceptions, had a couple plays where he made me realize, okay, this is one of the guys that we're going to have to put out here. And Coach Kelly said earlier that he's in a rotation on his own. He's in a rotation of one. It's Andre, and then it's Andre. They are relying on him for a lot of different roles, especially with the absence of Greg Brooks. I think that, this team, they're finding their their stride, if you will. I think this is the best time of the year to find your stride as well, and it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to move into Ole Miss, into Alabama, and compete with these top SEC teams. It looks like the West could potentially be LSU's for the taking for the second straight year, and in only Brian Kelly's second year here at LSU. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. This has been The Verdant Verdict.